Oh my god. Kayla, babe, you've got to show some self-control. It's getting out of hand, babe. Hey, what's up? Hello. If you're new here, my name is Kayla and you're watching Kayla's Bookish Vibes. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be a book haul. Listen, I know I said in my last book haul that was going to be my last book haul of the year. However, Book Outlet had their sale, so I had to. And I definitely went a little overboard. I placed 2 separate orders. Babe, I know you're watching this. I did. I placed my order first, and then all of the books that I said, Kayla, you can't get all these books right now. I then went to my husband and said, babe, can you get these books for me and the kids? Because I did get some homeschool books as well. I have lots of children's books. I won't be showing the children's books in this video. I'll just be showing the books that I got for myself. But I did place 2 separate orders. So one was purchased for me, one I purchased for myself. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started because there are a lot of books in this haul, y'all. To make another excuse, I did miss the sale last year. I was worried about, you know, buying cribs and diapers and bottles and baby clothes and all the things. So I was not worried about buying books last year. We made up for it this year. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first book, Daughter in Exile by BC. I'm going to attempt to say this name because you deserve the attempt. I know I'm saying it wrong, so I do apologize. Daughter in Exile by BC Ajapon. I'm so sorry. This is how you spell it. I'm excited to read all these books. I'm not going to say that again in this video. I'm excited to read every book in this room. When I will get to them, I don't know. Just know I'm excited to read every book. Lola is 21 and her life in Senegal couldn't be better. An aspiring writer and university graduate, she has a great job, a nice apartment, a vibrant social life, and a future filled with possibility. But fate disrupts her world when she falls for Armand, an American Marine stationed in the U.S. Embassy. God damn it. I know that's what made me pick this book up. Okay? Her mother, a high court judge in Ghana, disapproved of her choice. Me too, babe. But nothing will stop Lola from boarding a plane for Armand in America. I'm gonna stop there. I can't wait to see how Armand messes up this woman's life. A Legend in the Baking. This is by Jamie Wesley. This is a contemporary romance novel. First of all, the cover is everything. It's so absolutely adorable. This is like a part of a standalone series type deal. What was the other one? Fake It Till You Bake It. I do have that book as well, and I wanted this one. I love the cover. I believe he's a football player or was a football player. That could also be Fake It Till You Bake It. Okay, I don't want to read this because I haven't read Fake It Till You Bake It, and I don't want to mess up anything with that book either. But I'm excited. I know one of the men is like a football player, but he also loves to bake cupcakes, and it's just a cutesy good time. You guys know, if you're familiar with my channel, what types of romances I like to read. I just like them real cute with a little spice. There's nothing wrong with a little spice, but I just like them super cute, contemporary, and black. I like them black. So I'm excited to read that. This one is called Black Roses, and this one is called Black Oak. These covers are stunning. I'm pretty sure this is poetry. Different black women, specifically for Black Roses, is different black women. Like, for instance, this one is called Angelica's Pose, and it's an ode to Angelica Ross. They have some beautiful illustrations in here as well. Tomi's Magic, an ode to Tomi Adeyemi, which, if you're familiar, she is an author and she wrote the Legacy of Orisha series. I didn't know she was mentioned in this one, but let's read her poem. I wonder if you have realized that you are the magic you write about. I wonder if you know you've written an autobiography. You are the connector and seer that has turned so many into believers. What a feat. As people turn pages, they erupt into an uncontrollable praise dance. You've seeped into their spirit with the skill of a reaper. Tears flood from their eyes as you help them realize how strong their powers are. Is that not a titer? You write with the passion of inextinguishable forest fires set ablaze. Is that not a burner? Through your stories, you aim to cure the ills that we try to just bandage. Are you not a healer? You created a whirlwind of celebration and representation. Are you not a winder? You've taken what this world has given you and built a whole new one. Are you not a wielder? All while illuminating the dark corners because you are a lighter. You trained your inner dragon to emit fire on command because you are a tamer. but your mightiest superpower is writer. I love that. I love the fact that I just randomly flipped to that page because you guys know I enjoyed the Legacy of Orisha series for the most part. This is the illustration that goes along with her poem. So pretty. Now I'm really interested in seeing who else is mentioned in here. Jennifer Hudson, Jennifer's Song, an ode to Jennifer Hudson, ode to Lizzo, Lizzo's Love, an ode to Lizzo. There are going to be women in here. I love Lizzo's illustration. She's playing her flute. I know there are going to be some women in here that I'm not familiar with, which is going to make me Google them and figure out like who do I need to know about? Who do I need to? Tabitha Brown, Tasha Bell, so many. Okay, so that's this one. And then there's also another one, and this one is called Black Oak, and I believe it's just about Black men. So it actually tells you everyone that's mentioned on the back. Kevin Fredericks, Jason Reynolds, he's one of my favorite authors as well. Tristan Walker, LeBron James, Ryan Coogler, love him too. Jamal Bowman, Black Thought, Tyler Perry, Dwayne Wade, Mahershala Ali, Swizz Beatz, John Legend. So they're just poems, like, you know, to show love to these people, giving these people their flowers, you know, while you can. Literally, that's what this man is holding, is a flower. Stop playing. $5 each. No regrets. Okay, next, moving on, we got It's Elementary by Elise Bryant. I have been wanting to start this series, and when I saw the book was $5, why wouldn't I get it? It's $5. This is like a cozy mystery. Main character is a parent in the PTA, and she believes that her principal, the vice principal, has killed someone, and it goes from there. Acts of Forgiveness by Mara Cheeks. This has been on my TBR like mentally for quite some time. I just never pulled the trigger and bought the book. I have checked it out from my library thrice. I've checked it out thrice, and I never have enough time to get to it to read it. So now I own a copy, and when I'm ready to get to it, I can read it and I can take my time and not be rushed. Next, I have Everything's Fine by Cecilia Rabis, I believe. Love affair that turns inferno. You'll be riveted. So this is a workplace romance, if you will, but there's more to it. So Jess's first day at Goldman & Sachs, she's the only Black employee there, and the people are giving her a hard time. Her white coworker Josh loves playing the devil's advocate and is usually just the worst. But when Jess finds herself the sole Black woman on the floor, it's Josh who shows up for her in surprising, imperfect ways. Before long, an unlikely friendship forms between the two, and that friendship gradually and suddenly turns into an electrifying romance. A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. It's a fantasy. It's about dragons, so I got it. The Davenports, More Than This. You guys know I've had my eye on this for a while. This is the second book in the Davenports duology. I tried to read this. I got this book as an arc, and I tried to read it then, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I was so disappointed because I loved the first book so much. I was like, let me just set the arc aside, and I'll wait until the book is completely fully released and read the finished product and see if maybe that has changed at all. So I finally got this book. It was $5. I'm glad I waited to get this book. I have almost purchased this book so many times this year, full price, and I'm so glad that I waited because I got it for $5. Another fantasy, Air by Saba Zahir. You guys know I said I wanted to read this book earlier this year, but I wanted to start with some of her early fantasies, which I did pick up some of her early fantasies. I haven't read them yet, but I did pick them up. And I thought, why not go ahead and get this while it's $5 on the book outlet sale. Until We Break by Matthew Dawkins. This is a Wattpad book. I didn't know that. I just literally saw a Black woman on the cover and I got it. Dance like everyone is watching, because they are. Naomi Morgan's life revolves around ballet. However, a life of a ballet is one of sacrifice, long hours, and injuries. Up until the summer, Naomi had an ally in Jessica, her best friend. But when an injury and a tragedy combine, Naomi's carefully constructed world spirals out of control. Unable to dance for weeks, Naomi is forced to confront her new reality and an uncertain future. Then she meets Saint, a young street artist who spends his nights creating art pieces that reimagine the world around him. He may not have had Naomi's opportunities, but he is creating his own. As the pair explore their sleepy town, Naomi discovers a world that she never knew existed, and begins to realize there are many ways to express herself. Dance doesn't have to be her only option. This sounds like a YA, a self-discovery with a subplot of romance. I enjoy YA, so I'm excited that I got this. Could never have too many of those, in my opinion. Next, we have The Teller of Secrets. This is by the same author. Yeah, it is. Wait a second. Hold, please. Okay, so no, it's not a continuation. I don't think they're connected in any way. They're just by the same author. So I got 2 by this author. That's exciting. Got that. These, I've had my eye on these for a while. They've been on Book Outlet for a while. And each time I order on Book Outlet, I almost add it to my cart. And I end up taking it out at the end. So I finally got these. It's called A Beanie's Song by P. Jelly Clark. I got book 1 and book 2. I'm not sure how many books are in this series. I believe this is middle grade fantasy. Let me check and see. I ended up getting them because obviously I have children. I enjoy reading middle grade as well. So don't get me wrong. I will sit down and read in middle grade even if I didn't have any kids. But a lot of times I purchase middle grade because my kids are getting to that age where they're soon to start reading those types of books. And I want to have them readily available for them to pick up. Yes, it is middle grade fantasy. Let me see how many books are in this. Oh, there's going to be a 3rd one in 2027. So perfect. I'll read these. Unfortunately, I couldn't get them to match, so I have a paperback and a hardcover. But considering this is going to be in our homeschool area eventually, after I read them, I didn't really care if they matched or not. But I got book 1 and book 2 of this middle grade fantasy series. Not even almost done, so I hope you have a snack and a beverage. Okay. Next, we have The Fugitives by Jamal Majo. The Kamanga Kings is a jazz band of yesteryear. It's presented with the opportunity of a lifetime when a surprise letter arrives inviting them to perform in Washington, D.C. The only problem is the band no longer exists. A secondary school teacher and the son of an original king, Kamanga King, sets out to revive the band. All too soon, an unlikely group are on their way, knowing the eyes of their country are on them. As they move from home to the chaos of Donald Trump's America, Jamal weaves a gently humorous and ultimately universal tale of music, belonging, and love. Yeah, got that. Next, I got Alyssa Cole, An Unconditional Freedom. This is a historical fiction novel. I believe it's a historical romance. It says an assassination plot that could end the Civil War and a hidden enemy that could destroy a secret league of unsung heroes. Yeah, okay. So I believe there is a subplot of romance in this. I did get a few other books in this like series set during this time. And hopefully it's in this package that I haven't opened yet. But I got this one by Alyssa Cole. I ended up reading One of Us Knows. There we go. I'm like, I know I read something about this author. I read that thriller last year, I believe, by Alyssa Cole, and I really enjoyed her type of writing, so it made me interested in reading more books by her, and so I got a few of these. I believe this is called the Loyal League series. It's historical fiction and romance, so I'm excited to read these. You guys know I love me some historical fiction. I also got this one, Drown Me with Dreams by Gabby Burton. I got this book. This is number 2, I believe, because I have book 1, Sing Me to Sleep. I have Sing Me to Sleep on my shelf, and I realized that I never actually picked up book 2, and it was $5 on Book Outlet, so I got this to complete the series on my shelf. The Women of Brewster Place. I have read this book. I love this book, but I don't have a copy of this book, so when I saw it, I was like, yes, this is by Gloria Naylor. I want to read more by Gloria Naylor. Everything I have read by Gloria Naylor has been either a 4, this was a 4-star for me, has been either a 4 or a 5-star. So I read Linden Hills, also by Gloria Naylor, loved it. I want to read Men of Brewster Place. I'm not sure if I got that. I feel like I did. I guess we'll see by the end of this haul. But I want to read more by her, and I wanted to have a physical copy of this on my shelf. Langston Hughes, Blues in Stereo, the early works of Langston Hughes. I loved the cover of this book. I do already have a lot of Langston Hughes on my shelf, but I don't have this one. So I was like, okay, I need, thank you very much, $5, absolutely. Our Kind of People by Lawrence Otis Graham. This book I had in my house growing up. My mom had this book in our house growing up. And I want to say, are there pictures in here? Because I remember there being pictures. Yes. Yeah, I remember seeing, this was like a coffee table book for us. But it was hardcover and it was a lot bigger, I feel like. But I don't know what happened to that book. I don't know what happened to any of the books in our home from when I was a kid. But I was watching The Gilded Age. You guys know I love that show. And that show inspired me to pick up this book, Inside America's Black Upper Class. So super excited to have that on my shelf now. Another middle grade series, I can't remember if this is middle grade or YA, that I purchased was Ray Bear I've heard great things about this series. So I got this one and Redemptor, which is book 2. And unfortunately, I couldn't get the set to match either. So we have a paperback and a hardcover. I want to say it's fine. It's not fine. Like, in my bookish heart, I'm annoyed. But what can I do? You know, they were $5 each. It is what it is. If I read the book and I'm just like obsessed with the series and I need to have them match, if I love it that much, I will go buy the hardcover version of this and the paperback version of this and just have 2 copies of the series. But, you know, I could just read it and not love it that much and be just fine having a mismatch series. Next we have Whispers of Shadow and Flame by L. Penelope. This is book 2. I have book 1 on my shelf already. I haven't read book 1, but when I saw that book 2 was already available for $5 on Book Outlet, I just picked it up because what are the chances? What if I love book 1 and I need to read book 2, but I didn't buy it during the Book Outlet $5.99 sale, and then I have to pay more for the book? So I'm saving coins. I got some books by Jasmine Ward, Salvage the Bones and Men We Reaped. I have heard so many good things about this author, about her books, and I want to read them. Something about them though is intimidating to me, and I don't know why. I couldn't even tell you why. I could not give you a legit reason why. So I'm going to get into her works eventually. I got these books, okay? The Eternal Ones. What book is this? I know this is part of a series. It is. This is one of the books that also, like, I always put it in my cart. The series in general. I know the first one is called The Gilded Ones. I always put this series in my cart and then end up taking it out when I see how much I have in my cart, and I'm like, girl, you can wait. So I think I ended up getting the first 2 books in this series in this other box. We'll see when we open it. But this is the 3rd book in this series, and this is a YA fantasy series as well. Masquerade by Oo Sangoyomi. You guys know I read this book earlier this year, and I did enjoy it. I thought it was such beautiful writing. The visuals, it was so atmospheric. So I ended up getting it for $5. Would I have paid full price for this? Probably not, but for $5, I did want a copy. I believe I said that in the video. Like, I do want a copy of this book on my shelf. It wasn't a 5-star, but I did love it, and I do want to have the trophy. So I'm glad I got it. The map is in color, which is stunning. Again, the writing of this book was so pretty, and I will definitely be picking up more by this author if she writes anything else. It's just the story wasn't like my favorite story to read about. So got this. Now for the box that finally came. This is the box. I need to open it. I literally don't know what's in this box. These books I've already scanned. All the books I've shown you so far I've already scanned into La Bib. You guys know that's how I've been keeping track of my books. And listen, I know you probably like, girl, if you mention La Bib one more time, they got to be cutting you a check. They're not. It's free. I just really love it, and it's worth it. You know how easy it is to look on my app to search a title to see if I have the book or not? It's life-changing for me. Whew. Opening this box now. I will say all of my boxes, this came in like 3 different orders. Like 3 different shipments it came. Actually 4. Because our children's books came in a separate shipment as well. But each box was busted open, including this one. It has it's like shrink wrapped around it, but the boxes are busted open, and they're coming from Canada. I'm surprised that all of these books are in the condition that they're in. Like, they're all in good condition, shockingly. Because when I tell you the boxes came busted, if this wasn't wrapped, look at this box. If it wasn't wrapped, these books would be falling out. So I don't even have to open the box. It's literally already open. The first one is Shadows of Pearl by J.L. This is a fantasy series, and I have the first one on my shelf, and I realized I needed the second one. I started reading the first one, and I was enjoying it, but I put it down, and I don't know why. And I do plan to return to it because I was enjoying that book. And so I ended up getting the second book in this series, YA as well. House of Marion. There we go. That's the first book. I was enjoying that book. I have seen quite a few reviews where people didn't enjoy that book, but I was enjoying it while I was reading it. Whoa. Outside of the dust jacket, this book is so pretty. Look at the cover of this book without the dust jacket on it. Why would you cover this up with a dust jacket? Why? This is so pretty. Oh, now I wonder if book 1 is that pretty underneath. This is book 1. It's called House of Marion. If I take this Y'all, these books are so pretty underneath. Like underneath the dust jacket, they're so pretty. Okay, so the first one says, if this world is made of glass, then I will dance with a hammer in hand. Okay, sister. But I didn't know the book looked like that underneath. So this is book 1. I believe this is going to be a trilogy. I could absolutely be lying. So I will do my due diligence and look that up and put that on the screen. These are Black fantasies. If you didn't know, now you know. Scan them as I go because it is that easy. So let me pull up a bib. Next, This Ends in Embers by Camilla Cole. This annoys me because they don't match. You could not get a matching set of this book if you tried. This is the first book in the series, So Let Them Burn. This is hardcover. This is the second book in the series, and it's also hardcover. They don't match. I will put on the screen the paperback version of this book, of book 1, and the paperback version of book 2, so that you can see how mismatched things are. I want to know why they did that. I need to know, actually. Next, I got This Bitter Earth by Bernice L. McFadden. One of my favorite booktubers is a really big fan of Bernice L. McFadden. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, fine. Also, it says on the front, the #1 Essence bestseller. That just gives me black. You know, back in the day when authors were in books were like recommended to you in Essence magazine. I love that. So I got this thanks to Lex from Lex Reads. I don't know if she's ever read this book, if she's ever recommended this book, but I do know that she loves this author, so I picked this one up. Mary Monroe, God Still Don't Like Ugly. This is the second book in the God Don't Like Ugly series. You guys know I've read this book when I was a kid. I think I read this book in middle school, and they have been re-releasing the books with new covers. I already have the first book in the new cover, so when I saw that the second book with the new cover was available for $5, of course I had to pick it up. Okay, cool. So I did. So this is book 1 in the series that I was telling you about, the YA series. This is the Gilded Ones. So I did get book 1. I'm pretty sure I also got book 2. The Nature of Love by Toni Shiloh. This is just a really cute contemporary romance, Black romance. So had to get it. More Perfect Union by Tamye Huff. It says Henry O'Toole sails to America in 1848 to escape the famine in Ireland, only to face anti-immigrant prejudice. Determined never to starve again, he changes his surname to Taylor and heads to South Virginia, seeking work as a traveling blacksmith on the prosperous plantations. Torn from her home and sold to Jubilee Plantation, I'll tell you why I picked this book up in a minute, Sarah must navigate its intricate hierarchy, and now an enigmatic blacksmith is promising her not just the world but also her freedom. How could she say no? Enslaved at Jubilee Plantation, Maple is desperate to return to her husband and daughter. With Sarah's arrival, she sees her chance to be reunited at last with her family, but at what cost? So this book hit so many hot buttons for me. First of all, it's historical fiction. You guys know I love that. Second of all, the whole the guy coming from Ireland. If you saw, it literally just flew out of my head. Oh, if you are familiar with Sinners, the movie Sinners, then you know like that whole connection there. That was one of the reasons I loved Sinners so much, is because Ryan Coogler drew from the history of the Irish and Black people. There is a whole deep-rooted history between the two, and there are some things that overlap. So when I saw that this man was from Ireland and he came and was being discriminated against because he was Irish, it just first of all reminded me of Sinners, but then also like I don't think I've read enough books about that have drawn the connection between the two. So I'm excited to read this one. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I've never seen anyone give a review about it. Historical fiction is my jam, so you guys know if I love it, then I can recommend it to you all. Ooh. Well, we have one that's been damaged. The dust jacket is like literally sliding off of this thing. Hopefully if I can lay it under something so that it can go back flat. But yeah, this one came. The book itself is not damaged. It's just the dust jacket and I guess how it was packed in there. But this is the second book in the Blood Debt series. It's called Blood Justice. I have read book 1. I enjoyed book 1. So I wanted to get book 2 when I saw that it was only $5. I got another book by Langston Hughes, I Wonder As I Wonder. I Wonder As I Wonder. I've been working on making sure that I have a lot of my Black classics on my shelf. Although I don't reach for them often, I want to have them readily available for me, for myself, and for my children one day, because we do read them, or I do read them, just not nearly enough or nearly as often as I would like to. So I want to make sure that I have all of their works available, readily available. Unsettled by Ayanna Mathis. I have been seeing this book around and I wanted to have it on my shelf. I actually saw Mara from Mara's Junk Drawer. She found this book at her Dollar Tree for $1. And I have been going to my Dollar Trees frequently to see if I could find this book for $1. And I have yet to find it for $1. So I paid $5 for it. But just knowing that it's out there at someone's Dollar Tree for $1 made it really hard to add this to my cart for $5. Perfect Real by Kennedy Ryan. I have read this book. I love this book. If you haven't read this book, you need to read this book. But I have the indie cover on my shelf. There's a Target sticker. I'll peel that off later. And I wanted the new cover of this only because Score, the second book, will be coming out in 2026. This cover is stunning, and I said, okay, I have to have the matching set. I personally really love the indie cover. This one is cute too, but Score, that something about that green dress. So obviously I had to get this book as well so it could match. And because I love this book so much, I do not mind having more than one copy of this book on my shelf whatsoever. Like, I love this book down. All right, we're almost done, guys. I promise, we're almost done. The Phoenix King by Aparna Verma. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. It says, from a stunning new voice in fantasy comes an Indian-inspired action-packed debut of fire magic and ancient prophecy, in which the fate of a kingdom rests in the hands of a princess desperate for power and an assassin with a dark secret. Love the sound of all of that, actually. So, got that. One Night in Georgia. I've had my eye on this book for quite some time. I just picked it up because it was $5, but I have been wanting to read this book and I've been wanting to own this book. I just never buy it. So I finally got it, $5. And then, a series by Toby Ogundurin. The first one is pretty small. It says In the Shadow of the Fall, and then I believe the second one is At the Fount of Creation. It just looks like another black fantasy. I'm not sure if this is YA or adult. I will put it on the screen, but I'm excited to read this. P. Jelly Clark blurbed these books, so I'm excited to get to these. I haven't seen too many people talk about them. They are older releases though, so maybe I just kind of like missed the wave. And then the other book in the Alyssa Cole series, A Hope Divided. So this is just like another part of that series. It's like a historical romance mystery type thing. So got those. And the last book is for baby girl. It's called Lullabies for a Black Mother. So it's a board book for me and baby girl. Excited to read this to her. I read to her all the time, but obviously I actually got a lot of kids books. I got like just as many books as I got for myself, I got for our homeschool. For real, for real, for real. So those are all the books that we got in today's haul. I'm excited. I need to scan like the last 4 or 5 books, and then I need to reconfigure my shelves. I need to figure out what's going to move. You guys know, if you saw my video where I redid my room for Christmas, that I did purchase another shelf because I knew all of these books were coming. But now I need to kind of like reconfigure everything so that everything still flows and everything is still separated by genre, because that's how I, prefer to keep my home library, is by genre. So I got some work to do, okay? But that's it. That's all I got from the Book Outlet haul. Let me know down in the comments below, did you place an order this year with Book Outlet? What did you get? I would love to know. If you made it to the end of today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave this emoji to let me know that you watched the entire video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.